how's it going? It's me, Betty G, and today's video is another installment of my makeup collection and declutter series for this year. In this one specifically, I'm tackling what I call my miscellaneous stuff. So the things that I just felt like didn't need their own video, so I lumped them all together. So we have like mascaras, eyeshadow primers, brow products, all of my liners. That's honestly the heftiest part of the video. Just random things like that I kind of tucked together into this one. I'm super excited that this season is here. I've been having honestly so much fun kind of going through and decluttering my collection and sharing it with you, and it just gives me a sense of peace and renewal, and I love it. Before we hop into this portion of the declutter, I did of course film this look. It should already be up on my Instagram and YouTube shorts by the time this video goes up. As far as my accessory details go, all I have today is this hat, and it's from Witchwood Bags. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and do some decluttering. All right, friends, another day, another declutter. I am very excited to tackle this part specifically. This is all my random miscellaneous stuff. So things like brows and eyeshadow primers and liners and mascaras and the things that I felt like I wasn't going to give them their own video. That's what this video is. I'm very excited. We have 240 things to talk about today, and we're gonna just get through it. I'm excited to condense this down. I don't think I'm going to cut it necessarily in half, but I would love for it to get closer to like maybe 160 to 170, like maybe we can get rid of like a third of them. But before we get into the official decluttering, the normal housekeeping things. Number one, please don't get offended if I declutter your favorite thing. It's okay if it's not my favorite, and it's okay that it's your favorite. We all like different things, and that's what makes makeup fun. Number two, please don't ask me to send you anything. I feel weird and icky giving used makeup to people I don't know, especially things like this where it's like in my eyeball, you know, that's just not happening. Anything I am able to pass on, I give dibs to friends and family. I donate what I'm able to, and I dispose of the things that are no longer salvageable. And last but not least, please don't feel pressured to declutter your collection if that's not what's right for you. It's just what's right for me. I love doing this reset at the end of every year. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop in and do some decluttering. I want to start first with brows. I have 16 things here, and I included my freckle pen because that would have been its own category. So between mostly brows and one freckle thing, I have 16 things here. Definitely some things I can let go of. Let me get the obvious thing out of the way. The Milk Makeup Tubing Brow Gel is my favorite. Whenever they sent out PR for it, they actually sent me 2 boxes of it on accident. I did give the shades that I wasn't going to use, like the reds and the blondes, to friends, but I did keep all the browns, because whether it's like a medium tone brown or a really dark brown, I'm pretty much fine with wearing whatever shade. So I've kept them all. I've already gone through one tube. I do think I gave one brown to another friend as well. So I have browns for days, so many of them, and I'm very excited about it. I have a mixture of Diesel, Grind, Herb, and Dutch, and I'm so stoked. I love this formula. It's so good. So I'm absolutely hoarding all of these because this will last me a couple years, if I'm being honest, so I will be set for a long time. My favorite brow pen is the NYX Lift and Snatch. I use the shade Espresso. It's just my favorite. This one's getting close to being gone, so I'll be decluttering this soon once I run out of it, and then I already have another one ready to go, so I'm definitely gonna keep these. I can let go of all 4 of these clear brow gels. They're just, you know, they're not ones I'm really reaching for. I have a Rare Beauty, Surratt, Ilia, and Milk Makeup. They're all fine, but I like super glue for my brows, and these just aren't like quite strong enough for that. And I just love the Milk Makeup one so much, so I have no reason to keep these. I also do have a NYX Thick It Stick It in the shade Espresso. This was my favorite brow gel before I discovered the Milk Makeup one. Part of me is like, I don't need to keep this one since I have a new favorite, but the other part of me is like, I should keep it so that I have another brow product for down the road. I think I'll keep it for now. As time goes on, if I'm just like still not opening this because I just haven't gotten to it yet, I'll probably pass it on to a friend, but for now I'll just keep it in my collection because it is a good brow gel. The KVD Bleach Brow Pomade, this is very old. I keep it every year just because I'm like, what about the days that I randomly want to bleach brow? It's never, maybe once a year. And if I really am feeling that crazy about it, I can always use concealer. So I don't need to keep this. This is so old. I never touch it. And my freckle pen right now is the Nabla Freckle Pen. I literally just bought a new tube of this. It's on like a little like marker type tip. I really like this. I've gone through a tube in the past and now I'm starting a new one. So obviously I'm gonna keep it. Well, with brows, started with 16, decluttered 5, now I have 11. Okay, moving on to lashes and lash glue. There's 8 here, but I actually do have 9. I have a black lash glue that I just had and it walked away. So we're gonna pretend it's here and I'm keeping it. Whenever I find it, because I do like a black lash glue whenever I do wear lashes. I haven't worn lashes a whole lot lately. I've very much been on a mascara journey. But when I do wear lashes, I always put black lash glue on the band itself because it helps it blend in really nicely for me. And then I use a clear lash glue on my lid really close to my lashes. I wait a full 2-ish minutes, and then by the time I stick everything down, everything is very tacky. They magnetize together almost. I mean, not actually because they're not magnetic, but they stick really well. So that's my method. So I do have the one black one that is kept once I find it. And then I have 3 clears, and how empty are you? Ooh, this is like stuck together. Oh, this is all nasty and dried up. So yeah, I don't need to keep that one. That's so gross. I think this velour one is still fine. Yeah, this one's still fine. The House of Lashes one is my go-to. I just acquired this velour one. So yeah, I'll keep the velour and the House of Lashes clear lash glues. And then I only have 5 pairs of regular lashes. These ones are Likely Makeup's Rain Cloud. I also have Likely Makeup's Bedroom. Honestly, both of these have been used so many times. Like, I could probably get a couple more uses out of them, but I've had them for a very long time. I've used them more times than I can count. Sliced from Likely Makeup. These ones are still fairly fresh. I've only worn them a couple times, so I'll definitely keep these. I also have an unopened pack of Flare lashes from Bright Lashes. Bright Lashes half lashes are my absolute favorite. Like, if I'm gonna wear a lash, it's almost always this. Or Flutter. Flutter and Flirt are my favorites. I have this pair from Unearthly that I never used, Eternal. They are really pretty. I guess I'll keep them for the days that I want to wear lashes. These two I think I can safely declutter. They're kind of on their last leg. I've been holding on to them. So out of lashes and things like that, I started with 9, decluttered 3, now I have 6. I guess sticking with lash type stuff, let's do mascara next. I found the glue. It was by my mascara, in case you needed to know. All right, mascaras. I have 13 here. I can definitely condense this down a good bit. These 3 I'm definitely gonna keep because they are unopened as of right now. The Lash Princess Waterproof is pretty nice. This is just a new tube. I haven't opened it yet, so I'll keep it for when I need it. And then my friend Allie Dawson gave me these, the One Size mascara and the Il Makiage mascara. Obviously I haven't tested them yet, so I'll just keep these in their box until I'm ready to use them. I try my best not to open a million mascaras at once. I don't really know what happened here because I do try to use a mascara for 3 months and then I'm done with it after that. I try not to use a mascara past 3 months just because I don't know, that's like one of the few makeup item like expirations I try to be strict about because it's like so close to my eyeball. I like liner, I'm whatever about, but mascara for some reason like that freaks me out a little bit more. So I try to cycle through them fairly fast. So because of that, I try not to have too many open at once. So I'm not just like using them, but I've been on a mascara kick testing stuff out, but I can get rid of some of these. Some of these are getting old. 3 that are getting old are these from Lethal. They're all colorful mascaras. We have Spark, Current, and Static. They look just like the label. We have kind of a pink, a green, and a blue. I've had these for probably 4 to 5 months now. I also just don't really reach for colorful mascara very often, so I think I can let these go. Some of these are still pretty new, like the Rare Beauty one and the Bella Beauty Bar Lush Lash. The Bella Beauty Bar Lush Lash is one of my top favorites of all time. These I probably still have another month or 2 left in them, so I'll keep these. Same with these 2 brown mascaras. I actually really like these. I wasn't sure I'd be a brown mascara person. I literally just acquired this bronze one from Physicians Formula from my friend Linda Glitter Fallout like a week ago, so this one still has a few months left, and I just got this one as a gift as well. This was the e.l.f. Lash Extender in Deep Brown. I've only had this for a couple weeks, so I still have some time with these as well. So I'll keep these. These 3 though, I think I can let go because I'm not obsessed with them. This is the Gen C one. This is the Swede. The Swede one's actually pretty good. I've just had this one for probably about 3 months now, so it's time to retire this one, but this one I really didn't have a problem with. The Gen C just didn't do enough for me, and then this Surratt one also just hasn't been doing enough for me. I feel like the Noir Lash Tint from Surratt is just peak amazing. This one's only okay. I'm not obsessed with this, so I can let these go. So for mascara, I started with 13, decluttered 6, and now I have 7. Let's move on to, let's get the gems out of the way, and then eyeshadow primers. So my gems, this is gonna be just more of a showcase. I'm not really decluttering any of these. I like having stuff like this just kicking around in case I feel like adding little accents to my looks. Out of these little containers and these individual papers, I have 12 total. I have a mixture of these D'Avrune dewdrops. They're really cool. They literally look like little water droplets. They're so pretty. And then I have various ones, pretty much all from ColourPop. A couple might be from Lethal. I tend to just cut the papers as I use them to make them smaller. I could probably stand to cut this one actually. Just makes it so much easier to store when I don't have all this excess plastic on the edges. Okay, I spent some time cutting these little papers down, but I'm gonna keep all these. I just like having these kicking around, so this was more of just here's what I have. Now I have eyeshadow primers. I have 14 things here. One of my top favorites is the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. I'll definitely keep this. I also wanna keep my 2 glitter primers. I kind of bounce between the Beaute Bar Shimmer Stay and the NYX glitter primer. They're my 2 favorites. I've lately also really enjoyed these Profusion pigment bases if I want something a little more liquidy for a primer. We have just like the neutral shade and then a white, so I'll keep these. I also have all these different ones from Dede Signature. I do like the cookie primer. I use the cookie primer fairly frequently. It's similar to the Profusion one, but I kind of want to keep them both. And then we have all the other shades, like we have an orange, a black, a brown, a yellow, a white, and a pink. And as much as I want to be the person that uses these, I just don't think about them very often. I do think I'll keep the black one for days that I want like to create kind of a black base for things. This is a little bit easier to use for that purpose than like a gel liner, so I will keep this one for that. But these other ones I'm just not really thinking about. The white's fine, but I don't really need more than 1 white eye primer. I don't use white that often anyways, and the other ones I just genuinely don't think about. I tried using them for a while, and like they're fine. They give you a little bit of a base to then layer shadows on top of, but I just don't really think about these. So I'd rather give them to a friend who will actually get use out of them. And then I have these 2. I have an Alter Ego one and an Urban Decay primer potion. I just acquire these sometimes and then they end up in my drawer. I do like the Urban Decay one. The Alter Ego one, I can kind of take it or leave it. So I'll let the Alter Ego one go, but I'll go ahead and keep the Urban Decay one. I'm sure I can get some use out of this. So out of those primers, I started with 14, decluttered 6, and now I have 8. And now we're officially gonna enter my liners. This is gonna be the more hefty part of the video. I have cake liners, pencils, and liquids. I will be honest and upfront, I'm probably not really gonna declutter any of my cake liners or pencils because I feel like I have a pretty curated collection of them, and I also tried really hard last year to condense my pencils, and I haven't really acquired so much more since then, so I think I'm pretty okay with what I have still. The liquids I need to tear apart though, for sure. But I guess we can just start with my cake liners. I just keep them in this like acrylic case. Out of all my cake liners, I have 53 things, and again, I think I'm gonna just keep everything. This is the Catalyst Drops from Lethal. This activates the cake liners. You just like swirl some into the cake. It's just like a hard, like dry substance, and then you mix the liquid, and you can also just use water. That's what I used for a long time. And even once I run out with this, I'll probably just fill this with water because it doesn't need to be anything fancy, but I do like having this droplet next to me. You know, I might actually be able to let these go. This one from D'Avrune is really pretty. Like I like the colors, but I have these colors kind of already mixed in my collection. Like even in this Lethal palette, I feel like I have a similar vibe here. I have other purples in here. I have other peachy tones in here. So I don't think I need to keep this one. It's kind of just taking up space for me. And then I'm always tempted to keep this one, this like neutral split cake liner from Gavissi, but I never reach for this. I guess if I'm gonna do graphic liner, I'm just not thinking about using like neutrals. I'm either gonna use like a black or a white or a funky color. So I don't think I need to keep this anymore. But I have my different Lethal ones that I really enjoy. I like that they're in this palette. All these are various liners from Gavissi. I just kind of have them in like rainbow order, and then my black, white, gray, and then my 2 duochromes that didn't fit with the others down here. I just kind of have all that mixed together. So yeah, I like this little setup. This makes me happy, so I'm gonna keep it this way. So out of my cake liners, I started with 53. I did declutter 2, so now I have 51. Let's just chat about my pencils really quick before we get into the liquids. I keep my pencils just kind of in this case. I have them divided like pinks and purples, blues and greens, red, oranges, and yellows, and then my like black, whites, grays, and neutrals. in here. I have two that are unopened, the Milk Makeup and the Rare Beauty black ones, just because I use a black eye pencil literally every single time I do my makeup to at the very least tightline my upper waterline. So I go through black liner the fastest. I also have some more black liners in here. I have a mixture of various things from different brands. I have like Oden's Eye ones. I love these NYX Beetlejuice chrome liners. These also do have like a liquid liner on the other side, but then the other side is like a chromey sort of guy. It's very, very cool. And I also feel like the chrome that I get in these NYX ones, these three that I got, are different than the multi-chrome Kaleidos ones that I adore. I have so many ColourPop ones. But yeah, I'm pretty content with what I have. I honestly don't even really feel the need to swatch all of these. I'm so sorry. I just simply can't swatch every single thing in my entire collection, especially when I know in my heart of hearts that I really did condense this a good bit last year. I'm even looking now, like I don't think there's anything I want to get rid of. I could maybe pass on this Surratt one. This is like a light baton, like one side has like this little shimmer inner corner thing that I never use, and then the other side is just like a brightening eye pencil, and I have other shades like that. And honestly, if I'm going to use something like this, I prefer it to be metallic anyways. So I think I can let this one pencil go. But everything else, I don't feel like I have a whole lot of repetitive things. I'm pretty content with what I have. I like the way it's organized, so I will just keep this the way it is and be done with it. Deeply sorry if you wanted me to swatch every single one of these. I just don't want to be here for a million years. And I do the decluttering for me at the end of the day. Like, this is my process on me resetting my collection. And I just don't personally feel the need to do that right now with this specific part of my makeup because I already know what I have. So I'm not really trying to do comparisons. I did that last year, so I'm very content with this. So out of those pencils, I started with 70. I did declutter one, so now I have 69. Now let's actually get into my liquids, and I am gonna do a lot of swatching of this section just because I know I have some things that are dried out and that I don't need anymore. Okay, these are my liquids. All the things. I have pens, I have gels, I have liquids. I do have my stamps as well, but I have 53 things here, and I can definitely cut this down. I have way too many things. I don't even feel like I'm using any of my liquid liners very much lately just because I have too much. Like, I'm not even aware of what I have. So I need to figure out what I have, condense it down, get rid of like multiples of things, and continue on from there. Things I'm definitely keeping are my two like gel liners. I have an e.l.f. one and a Blend Bunny one. I still use both of these all the time. I just kind of grab one based on whatever I grab first. But I like having these around to do like giant wings with and stuff like that. So I will keep these. I also do want to keep these Lawless ones. I'm still testing these out, but they're just like liner pens. Like, this one's a black, it's in the shade Caviar. And this one is a brown in the shade Cocoa. I don't really have any browns in my collection, so I want to keep these. I'm also going to keep my little ColourPop stamps. I have a star, a moon, and a heart. I use these sometimes and they're fun. I've used these for years. Do love this Rare Beauty one. Is this still pretty liquidy? Yeah, that is still good to go, so I will keep this. This is probably my favorite if I had to pick one liquid liner. I don't really care for this Pixie one. It just gets a little bit tuggy. Like, I like the tip, but it just gets a little bit tuggy on my skin. Oh, I also love this Surratt one. The Surratt one is so nice. So beautiful and black and lovely. I also actually have another unopened one, so I will keep both of these. I strongly detest this Milani one. I feel like it gets so chunky, and when I try to like build it up, if anywhere is sheer, it just gets all like crumbly and weird. I hate this. I bought this just like in desperation when I was out of town and my liner ran out, so I just grabbed this from like the store. And it's horrible. I guess I'll keep this one to try at some point. Allie Dawson gave me this a while back, and obviously I haven't used it yet because I have other things to use, but I will try this at some point, this Ciate liner. I have this Glam Light one, this calligraphy one. I do like this. I do like this one. I think I'll keep it. And it's still pretty new, so it's very like liquidy. Okay, let me swatch these Game Beauty ones because I think some of these might be getting kind of old and dry. I have this white one. Yeah, I mean, it's still okay, but I feel like I have other white liners, so I think I can let that one go. Like with cakes and liquids, like I don't necessarily need that. Here's like a light blue, this black one. These are still pretty liquidy. These are still pretty good. I have an even lighter blue, and I have a yellow. Well, these still have a good amount of pigmentation to them, more so than the white. Even the white I feel like was getting kind of low and dusty. Well, let me compare some of these Urban Decay ones, because maybe I don't need everything. This one's a light blue in the shade Deep End. I have this green called Freak. Oh, that is so fun still. I have this black one, Zero. Brownish gray almost. I feel like this used to be blacker at one point in my life, so I don't need this one. I have Ozone, this white. Oh, this white's a lot more pigmented. So just so I can have a white pen, I definitely want to keep this one. Mucho Mucho is a yellow. Binge is another blue. Yeah, that one's like a brown. But honestly, since I have this Lawless one and I don't use brown that often anyways, and this one's much older, I can get rid of this one. This was the shade Whiskey, by the way. Oil Slick, I think, is like a silver. Ew, that looks bad, doesn't it? That like doesn't really do anything. Definitely don't need this one. And I have High Energy. So many like blue shades, and this one's pretty weak. I don't need that one. So we have like a baby blue and a teal from Urban Decay, and then two different blues from Game Beauty. I feel like I can justify having all of those blues if I'm being honest. And then the green I can keep. I don't feel like I need both of these yellows though. And I like how vibrant the Game Beauty one is, but I like the liquidiness of the Urban Decay one. It probably doesn't matter. You know, I think I'm just gonna keep the Urban Decay ones just because these are more likely to stay liquidy longer. And the blues that I was tempted to keep from Game Beauty, I can just use a water activated liner, like one of my cake liners for. All right, we're getting somewhere. I have these two from What's Up Beauty. I have a black Kemet in this like shifty one called Nibu. It's like a sheer sparkly sort of situation. It's like okay. It's like a very sheer sparkly like greenish yellow. And then the black one's fine. But I don't know, these just aren't the first things I'm reaching for. The like shimmery one just doesn't really do much for me. Like you can barely even see it. I think I can let these go. I have these ColourPop Twilight ones. I'm willing to bet these are probably not their prime anymore because these do not last forever. This one's called Forever. Ooh, that's nasty, isn't it? It's supposed to be like a sparkly black. It just looks greasy. It doesn't even look sparkly. Vampire, I think, is a red. That one's okay. It's like metallic red, but I honestly have red metallic cake liners that I like more. And then Coven, I think, is a green. Or no, maybe Forever was supposed to be the green, and this one's supposed to be the black. But either way, these have gotten a little disappointing, haven't they? I have other things I can use. I definitely want to keep this white one from Profusion. It's just very handy for when I need like a white graphic liner moment, but I don't feel like busting out a cake liner. This one is fantastic. And I am tempted to keep the pink and the purple ones, but if I'm being honest with myself, I have these colors in my cake liners, so I don't really need both. I'm just not gonna keep them. I don't reach for these enough to like justify having a million. These Unearthly ones, I like them in my heart of hearts. They're like shifty, cool, but a lot of them dried out last year and I kept the ones that hadn't, so I guess I'll just see that again, which ones have dried out. This one's Treasure. It's not really dried out, but it's very, I don't know, wonky. Like it feels like there's nothing in there. Embers. Embers, Embers, Embers. Ooh, that's kind of difficult to use. Like I can get a little bit of product out, but I'm trying to like picture like an application on my eyes. I don't think it would really happen. This one's Gem. Yeah, it's like kind of weak. So you're getting a little dry and crusty. Let's try these other Unearthly ones. Potion. Ooh, that one's still pretty fun, huh? It's like a pinky purple. Might keep her. Tonic. Let's see what Tonic is all. Ooh, dry. And I'm sure I could add glycerin or something to revive these, but it's just kind of like I have so many things that I don't need to like force it to work. If this was my only thing, I don't even know what this one's called. Sorcery, I think is what that says. It's getting very rubbed off, but I don't need to force things to work. That one's okay, but honestly, why does that look so similar to the other one in the camera? But in real life, this one looks more purple. This one looks more pink. This will be a maybe. I have Taboo. Ooh, that one's the most liquidy so far. That one's nice. Hypnotize. Oh, that one's great too. Amulet. Yeah, most of these are still pretty good. This specific like version of the liners that they came out with worked a lot better. This one's Charm. Oh yeah, these are very fun. I think I will keep these. They're still working pretty good. They're unique. And maybe now that I've condensed my collection, I'll think about these more and use them. And last are the Lethal Cosmetics and Avatar ones. I'm keeping all of these provided they still swatch nicely. They came in little duos. Like this is the Fire one. They all came with like a matte and then a shimmer. So that was the Fire like creamy one. And this is the Fire multi-chrome one. Like just so freaking cool. I love these. Here is water and the other water. Oh, I just love, they're just so glidey. It's so nice. Earth is like a really dark green. It's so pretty. And the Earth multi-chrome, just super bright and shifty. And then of course the Air ones. Honestly, I feel like the Air ones are the ones I've reached for the most. This just like soft, like baby blue. And then the multi-chrome are so, so cool. Yeah, I use that like shifty one all the time. So yeah, I'll definitely keep these. So assuming I counted correctly, started with 53 liquid liners, decluttered 21, so now I have 31. That feels really great, actually. Let me tally it up and give you my grand totals. Got my grand totals together. I started with 240. I decluttered 45 things, so now I'm left with 195 things. I thought I was gonna condense it down a little bit more, but I forgot about the fact that like my cake liners and my pencils, I really wasn't interested in condensing too much because I feel like I've done that and I don't have a ton of repeats. So I'm actually really content with that. I feel like I got rid of the things that I just genuinely wasn't using, and now I'm more aware of what I have, which is part of the point of this whole process. So for those of you who are visual people, here's the picture of all 240 things that I started with today. Here is the picture of the 45 things that I ended up decluttering. And of course, here are the 195 things that I ended up keeping. I feel very good. I'm excited just to have less and to reorganize a bit more. It feels very nice, especially with stuff like this, because sometimes I can just tend to accumulate like random things that I don't need, like excess mascaras and primers and things like that. So it feels good to kind of do away with it a bit. Thank you so much for watching my video. I had so much fun digging through and decluttering some things. I filmed that portion of the video like 2 days ago, and it's just felt so good to really know what I have now and to just like have gotten rid of some of the stuff that was old or I wasn't using. It just feels great. I would love to hear your thoughts though out of these various categories. What are your favorite things? Do we share similar favorites? I would love to know. If you made it to the end of this video, since this was kind of a miscellaneous declutter, leave me some miscellaneous emojis, just very random emojis that don't really go together. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my channel out a lot. And if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm BATTYBEAN there as well. Also, if you want to, you can subscribe. I'm posting most days over here. And if you wanna, you can join my channel memberships. You get fun little perks, so go check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.